Hey everybody, this is Roberto Blake of robertoblake.com helping you create something awesome today. So today, for all my fellow photographers and enthusiasts out there, we have an interesting topic. Can you still make it as a photographer? Well, this is not an easy question. Yes, no, and maybe. Yeah, I know you guys hate when I do that, but there's a reason for it. So, yes, it's still possible to make it as a photographer, evidenced by all the people still making money as a photographer. Is it easy? No. Hell no. But that doesn't mean it is impossible or that you have to already be established or you have to be in the market already. Like, there are reasonable ways to enter into photography, or if you're an established photographer or experienced photographer that's just having a hard time with clients or money, I actually have some advice here that I'm going to get to in a moment, but let's pivot to the maybe and the gray area. The thing is, photography has changed dramatically, and it's not just because of changes in technology when we talk about mirrorless and DSLRs and what's changed from the film days. The marketplace has changed partly because of the commodity of smartphones, the fact that cameras are more affordable than they've ever been, saturating the market, and that more people have genuinely had a desire and a love to learn photography, to fall in love with it, and to want to take great pictures. And it's actually easier than it's ever been for someone to get good at that in the age of digital, where there's not the expense of buying film and developing it and losing shots, or them not all being good or it being okay. Being able to shoot hundreds or thousands of images to your heart's content quickly enough and affordably enough to get good at it, it means that the learning curve has dropped dramatically. However, in some cases, the saturation means that the overall quality of real photography has dropped, and with so many people doing it, the public does not view it as an advanced or technical skill or craft in the same way that they might have 20 or 30 years ago. Now, people feel that anyone can snap a picture because everyone, in fact, does. And it is true that anyone can snap a picture. That's not the same thing as being a good photographer or being a professional photographer. Having an expensive camera or a very impressive looking camera does not make a professional photographer. But you're a photographer if you're watching this. You already know that. The thing that I'm going to bring to the table here is the thing that might be more difficult for you. The marketing and selling of a creative service versus the idea that it's become a commodity. And you get away from that by not selling photography, but selling your expertise and selling fear. Yep, you heard me. You're selling fear or hope, your pick. I have a Sith Lord as my background. We know why I prefer the idea of selling fear. Fear of missing out is a very powerful marketing tactic. You're not selling someone their wedding photos. You're selling them on the idea that if a professional photographer does not, orchestrate this event, this moment in time will not be captured perfectly, and there will be infinite regret every single anniversary for all time. That's ultimately what you're selling. That is much easier to convince someone to pay thousands of dollars for than photos, something that they know that they're taking with their phone 20 times a day, that every single one of their relatives does or can do, that cousin Bob with the fancy camera could do for them on the cheap. You have to get them to stop valuing money and instead be more concerned and afraid that they're not going to get what they really want, which is their moment captured in the most beautiful and flattering way possible for all time. But what if you're not a wedding photographer? Well, the same thing holds true if you are a commercial photographer of any kind, whether you're shooting senior portraits, whether you're shooting family photos. It's just a different variation of storytelling and of selling hope/fear. It also depends on your market. You have to know your market. There are a lot of people that just do not want to pay for photography. That's fine. Leave those people alone. Cousin Bob has got them taken care of. You need to find your higher level market. And the thing is, that could be difficult because sometimes that is a more affluent market. This is why in my talk at Shutterfest, when I was doing a stage talk, I talked about using social media to target not what you think your audience or your target market is. Like if you're a senior portrait photographer, I told you Snapchat isn't really where you want to go because the kids are in Snapchat. Their parents probably aren't in Snapchat yet. Thus, you don't want to sell to them there. Not to mention, even if their parents are in Snapchat, that's not where they're making a buying decision. Their parents are making buying decisions in Facebook, in LinkedIn. They're being influenced by conversations and chats they're having in Twitter. So I would go that route. This is in fact the same conversation that I have with graphic designers all the time. But again, that's a whole different video. You can make it as a photographer if you can find people that have a specific pain that you being able to capture images and edit images and preserve them solves that pain point and alleviates that situation. A real estate agent's trying to sell a home. You have to put yourself in a position where you taking the shots is going to be more effective in selling the home than they are, which means you have to get clever and creative. And maybe it's not limited to photography. Maybe you need to utilize the video capabilities of your camera as an additional selling point, as a value added deal, so that you can compete with all the other photographers out of there that only can shoot photography and not video. Maybe you need to get into doing drones so that you can provide aerial shots that no one else in your town is able to get. So making it as a photographer means when everybody can buy a camera, when anybody can snap a picture, you have to be able to up your game. And that means being able to offer things that other people can't. You have to have superior editing skills and you have to have a style. I don't care if you can get perfect in camera, because that's not something that you can sell people that are uneducated about photography. You're selling to the everyman and to the everywoman. So editing is something they don't feel comfortable doing. If you can do it, that means that you have an advantage over them, over their cousin, over their friends, over their college kid that's a nephew. So you need to use that to your advantage. Even if it's something you don't love doing, then outsource it, but offer it. Video, same deal. Being able to always have one more thing that the competition doesn't, and in this case, the competition is anyone who can afford a camera, then you need that. It's not enough to sell on experience anymore, because the average person just doesn't understand what your experience translates to when it comes to them parting with money. You need to give them something a little more tangible, a little less abstract to work with. And so, my friends, you can still make it as a photographer. It's just that now you're gonna have to learn a little bit of marketing savvy and a little bit of salespersonship, but that's always been true in every creative profession. It's just more competitive than it's ever been. But if you're good and you can sell the idea that you're that good, then you won't have anything to worry about. Now, if marketing and salespersonship is something that's really challenging for you, there are some more videos here on the channel, usually Social Media and Small Business Saturday, that might be able to help you out with that. And there is one-on-one coaching and consulting from me. That is a service that I offer for creative professionals and creative entrepreneurs. So maybe I can use some tips that could help you with your photography business. So if that's something you want, definitely reach out to me via email. All my contact info is in the description. You can find me at robertoblake.com. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you if you're a photographer. I hope it was a little bit more encouraging. Guys, you absolutely can make it. Any creative out there still has a shot at making a living at the thing that they love. You just have to be able to sell it right and to the right people, the people who can afford to buy it and the people for whom this is not an option. It's something that they really want or desperately need. So sell them on hope, or like my boy Vader, fear. Anyway, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the other awesome content on the channel. As always, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, create something awesome today.